friends, welcome. In today's video, I'm going to teach you the 5 layers that you need to ask your potential future paying clients in your research interview questions. Hey friends, in today's video, I'm going to teach you the 5 layers that you need to go through in order to capture the information that you need to build a hell yes offer. These are the questions that you will use for interviewing potential future paying clients. Let's get into it. All right, so the first one, and this is what I call the crossing call, okay? The first block of questions, it's going to be where they want to go. So what do we ask? Where do they want to go? Okay. Now, under that, where do they want to go? Okay. So where do they want to go? You're going to ask a few questions. And the first one is picture your life. This is what you're asking your client. Picture your life 12 months from now with this area totally turned around. So this area, you want to fill that in specifically for your niche. Is it relationships? Is it health? Is it finances? Whatever it is, you want to say, picture yourself 12 months from now, and you are no longer living paycheck to paycheck. You are not struggling to afford things. What does that look like? Now, you want them to actually visualize where do they want to go. So this is 12 months from now. We're sitting down, we're having croissant and coffee in a French cafe. And what does that visual look like to them? Have them describe that. Then you want to ask them, if we work together and it went better than you hoped, not just what you expect, but better, right? We are achieving such greatness that they can't even imagine what it looks like. So you would ask them, what is the difference 90 days from now? So from now, and we work together, and I gave you the most extreme results that you could ever imagine, even better than what you would imagine. What does it look like 90 days from now? What is different in their life, in their business, in everything that they live for today? All right, and then the third question in where do they want to go in this category, the third question is fill in the blank. I want to go from blank to blank so that blank. Okay, let me break down these 3 blanks for you. I want to go from blank. This is the pain, the excruciating pain that they are feeling right now because of this situation that they're in. So if they are having a struggle with finances, their pain is, I can't afford to put food on the table. I can't afford my car note. I can't afford my house payment. Whatever that pain is, you want them to dig deep, okay? I know this is a little bit gruesome, but it's almost like stabbing the knife into somebody. That's horrendous. But twisting the knife is even worse. And you want that twisting pain. So how can we do that? You always want to go deeper on these questions. Here are a couple things you can say to go deeper. You can follow up with why. So like, why is that pain? Like, what else is there? What do you mean? Give me an example. What does that cost you? That's another great thing to get very deeper. So when you're asking them, what is the pain? What is it? Tell me more. Dig deeper. So I want to go from blank to blank. So the next blank is the pleasure, the beautiful island that they land on, the dream island. So the pain is the hell island. The dream island is everything that they could imagine if all of their problems were fixed, but not just that, but even better. So what does that pain island look like? I want to go from living paycheck to paycheck to have it in a scarcity mindset and not living in abundance to living in a mansion and loving life and not having a worry, not having a care. Am I going to be able to buy clothes for my kids? And we can travel and live more freely. So I want to go from this to that. So that what? Why? Why do you want that? Well, I want to be able to provide something for my children that I didn't have as a kid. Or I want to be able to build a business so that I can impact the world. So I can provide food for other people who are starving or homes for children who don't have parents. Whatever that is, so that blank. What is the ultimate goal of your client? All right, so that finishes the first segment, which is where do they want to go? Now we're going into the next set of interview questions. where they are stuck now. We want to dig down where they are stuck now. So that's number 2. Where they are stuck now. Okay. Second set of the 5 questions. Where are they stuck now? When you're asking these research interview questions to somebody, the first thing you want to say in this category is, where are you right now with all of this? What is actually going on? And you're asking them to tell the story, to visualize it, to see what's going on. But when you ask these questions, just ask that question and remain quiet, okay? A lot of times, especially as coaches, we want to coach them through what is going on. We want to help them out in the moment. But remember, this call is strictly for research. You want to listen 80% of the time and only talk 20% of the time. Remember that. 80% of the time should be the client, the future paying client that you are here to serve, to help. You are actually doing a disservice to them by talking too much, okay? We want to get as much as we can from them so that we can serve them better when we offer them our hell yes offer. Okay, so where they are stuck right now. Where are you right now with all this? What's actually going on? Then you ask them, what is the one thing you feel like you're still missing to fix it? Okay, and they're going to start thinking, what is the one thing that if I had this, it would achieve results that I have been looking for? Okay, let them name that one thing. Then you want to ask them, what is it costing you to stay stuck? Is it time, money, how you feel about yourself? Whatever it is, let them answer. Remain quiet. I know it's hard, but you got to be quiet and let them fully answer. If you feel like they are giving you surface level answers, which they will, especially if this is a cold lead versus somebody that you already know, they're going to give you surface level answers. So then use those follow-up questions, okay? Why? What do you mean? Tell me more. Give me an example. Okay, you want to use those. And then you want to also say, why is now the time to deal with this? Why not 6 months from now? Why is now the time? And they might say something like, well, my children are getting older. I need to improve finances. Or if it's health, they might say, well, I just got diagnosed. I'm pre-diabetic. I need to get this weight under control. Whatever that is, right? That is a very important question. I was about to say write it down. Back in the day, we used to write down our answers, and that would remove us from being in the conversation with somebody. So get these recorded on Zoom. Send them an invite, record on Zoom. Then you have the full transcript, and you can really use AI to diagnose what is going on in those conversations. You can also ask it, how do I improve my research calls? And AI can help you with that. All right, so also make sure you have permission to record these calls. All right, so we are moving out of where they're stuck now, and we're getting into what have they already tried. So that is category number 3. What have they already tried? Okay. You got to find out what they've already tried. There's a series of 4 questions that we're going to be asking in this category to figure out what they've already done, what things did not already solve their problems. Okay. So, what have you already tried to solve this? Walk me through it. All right. You want them to be back into that visual, that time in their life where they were struggling, and they're going to see, like, I tried all these things and it didn't work. That's why I need you to help me through this, okay? Then the second thing is, why do you think those things didn't work for you? Okay? They might say, well, there wasn't enough accountability, or the process was so over my head. They used language I didn't understand. And that tells you when you're creating your offer, because we haven't created our offer yet. That'll be a separate video. We don't create our offer until we have these research questions answered, okay? And we use this to create the offer because they're literally going to tell us exactly what they need. All right. The next thing is anything you've tried that you'd never do again, okay? Maybe they say, well, I spent $2,000 to go to this in-person event, and the speaker that they said was going to be there only spoke for 20 minutes and the rest was just these fill-in speakers and us working together as groups. I would never do that again. I felt like I got scammed and I didn't get anything out of that process. Okay, whatever that is, that's very important information because you're going to make sure not to do that. All right, anything that you've tried that you never do again, we just said that. And then roughly how much have you invested in this to figure out this, to try to solve this problem so far, right? And if you guys want a copy of this script, I will just give you all of the answers. I'll make sure to put it linked below so you're not writing them down. You'll actually have my cheat sheet called the Crossing Call cheat sheet. The Crossing Call because you are taking them from Hell Island to Dream Island. You are crossing them over that bridge, okay? So the Crossing Call cheat sheet, if you want a copy, just let me know below. All right, so again, you want to say roughly how much have you invested in trying to figure this out? They might mention programs, they might mention coaching, they might mention products, all of it you want to know. Did you buy books on Amazon that you read? Did you purchase a membership somewhere? Whatever it is, that's so important to know. All right. The fourth category of these research interview question is what's holding them back. So number 4, what's holding them back? Okay, so what's holding you back? Why haven't you achieved this result that you are looking for? All right, 3 questions here. What's the scariest part of really going after this for you? Okay, because sometimes there are things that are going to change. Well, every time there's things that are going to change in their life. All right. So if a woman is wanting to start a business, right? Something that might come up for her is she feels like she's going to leave her family behind. She feels like she's going to put all of her attention in the business and she'll have to not be there for her children. She won't be present. Her marriage might fall to pieces. If you're like me, you're thinking worst case scenario, if I go all in on this, other things are going to fall to the side. And that is what actually has to happen. Your identity has to change what you've been doing your entire life because you haven't gotten the results that you're looking for, right? So everything that you've tried up to this point are not working. You need to completely pivot and do something completely different, something epic, something that changes the path that you have been on the whole time. Super important. There's fears that actually are internally, subconsciously running the show. So we want to ask them what is the scariest part of this for them if they were to go all in on whatever your niche is. All right, the next one. What beliefs about yourself have held you back from getting this result, from getting this handled? What beliefs? And people are going to give very surface level answers here because they might have never thought about the beliefs that have internalized that they picked up when they were 4 and 5 years old that still affect them today. What are those things that you believe about yourself that are holding you back? And actually, a lot of coaching problems, it's really the beliefs that you have to untangle and what they are thinking about themselves to not be able to achieve the weight that they're trying to achieve, or what is telling you it's okay to go eat dessert at 9 p.m. and get a second servings. Like, what beliefs are you telling yourself? Like, I'm not good enough. That was one for me. I was like, I can't coach. I don't know how to coach. I'm not those high level experts. That's a bunch of BS. Okay. We're all capable of all things. All right. So, the third question in this series of what is holding them back is if you did make it happen, any part of you afraid of what changes then? Okay. So there's things, again, it's going to change them. Well, if I lose the weight, people might think that I think I'm better than them, right? I might be out there at the pool in my skimpy little bathing suit, and my friends might be like, who does she think she is? She lost 40 pounds and now she thinks she's better with us. So now men are hitting on her, whatever it is. That is subconsciously something that all of us women, we do not want to be judged. We do not want to be held back. We don't want people to think like we are better. We just don't want to think that we're better than them because we don't. But maybe the way that you walk more confidently now, it makes them feel that way. Okay. And we're not worried about what everybody else thinks. All right. The fifth and final category for these research calls is their words, their wish lists, their price. All right, this is going to get deep. So, number 5, their words, and I'll tell you why it's important to have their words, their wish list. Did I just put an extra H in there? Their wish list and their price. Okay, this might throw you off here. All right, so their words. You have to remember, once you are at the heaven, the happy place, you have crossed the bridge of what was super painful, super horrible, and you are using different language now. Okay, this is why it's so hard to create the right messaging when you are now trying to sell your coaching program or your offer, your digital product, whatever it is. It's difficult because you're using completely different language, right? When I created my course on, or my coaching program to help women find their confidence after toxic relationships, I was using a whole different set of language that those women in that hard, difficult spot weren't using. Like, I would identify as, he's controlling and I don't know what's going on. I didn't sit there and say, I don't have love for myself. I don't have empathy. I wasn't even using the word narcissist at first because that just wasn't a word. Whereas now I can use that word. But when I was in the struggle and when I was giving up and I was in the worst pain, I wasn't using the language that I can use now that I've learned how to get to the other side of the bridge. So this is why we need their words. And this is the perfect process to be able to capture what they are saying in their words, because they're literally going to give it to you. All right, so there's a series of questions that fall under category number 5. All right, you want to ask them, if you searched for help tonight, which they're searching it at 2 a.m. in the morning, they're Googling it on YouTube. Okay, if you search for this tonight, what would you type in? All right, you want to ask them, like, literally, you're at the keyboard, you are struggling, you are like, dang it, I just ate 2 servings of mashed potatoes and I didn't eat enough protein. Like, what are you typing in? What are you searching for? Maybe it's a parent that is struggling with their child, right? And their child's behavior. And they're crying. They're in tears. They need your help because you have figured this out. What are they typing in? What are they searching for? Why is my kid throwing temper tantrums on the floor, in public, in the mall? Why are they good for other people? This is what we say as parents, right? Why are my kids good for everybody else, but they pour out all their emotions on me and they hit me? Okay. That is what the parent is struggling with. That is what they're typing in. And you want to capture those exact words. You see how it was really basic. It's basically a 3rd grade level that I'm searching for. I'm not using these high-end sophisticated words when I'm talking to Google looking for answers. You want to know those. All right. The next part is, who do you already follow or listen to on this topic? Okay. If someone is getting on a call with you to answer these questions, they've already done the research. They've already listened to the podcast. They've got somebody they love on YouTube. Like, for example, Mel Robbins. Can we shout out our Mel Robbins fans here? Like, who follows her and gets all advice from her because she's fantastic? You want to know, because then your program needs to resemble some of that stuff that Mel Robbins teaches. It's super important. And likely you probably already know half of the things that they're searching for because you searched for it when you were in your stuck and struggling mode. All right. The next part is wave a magic wand. Okay. If I could wave a magic wand, I'm your fairy godmother, and I could build a perfect program, what would be inside it? Okay. You can actually ask them, what do they want? What would they have inside the program? And they might say, I need accountability. I need calls. I need a community. I need people around me. I thrive when there are people around me and we're working through things together. They're literally going to give you what to put in your offer. And this is why I say, do not build your offer until you have these research questions answered. All right. Now, next question. What would it be worth to you to finally have this solved? Remain quiet after this one. You are going to want to explain it and ask further questions. just ask the question. Okay. That's why these are written. These are tested. These questions have been used over and over to build six-figure coaching programs. Okay. Say the question and remain silent. Again, 80% of them is talking. You have 20%. Okay. So what would it be worth to you to finally have this resolved? Let them answer. You want to go deep on this. They're going to give you a surface level question answer. You want to say, why? Tell me more. Let them go deep, because as much as we don't want them to cry on a call, that's going to get them to really see, like, now's the time to make a change. Like, you are the person that can get them out of this. And what a gift, what an opportunity for them to work with you. All right, the last question is just to ask, is there anything else that you're struggling with that I haven't asked, that we haven't talked about, that we haven't said out loud? And then stay quiet. Let them answer. Give them, like, I know it's awkward space to just be quiet, but let that awkward space is a gift. Don't fill that space with nonsense of continuously asking the question in a different way. You've already asked the question. Is there anything else you're struggling with that I haven't asked? See that pause, that pause. We want to fill it. Do not fill it. Okay, that is it for these questions. You've got the 5 stages. Where do they want to go? Where they are stuck right now? What have they already tried? What's holding them back? And their words, their wish list, their price. Okay. This transfers into your offer. If you guys are excited to build your offer with me, I will be posting more videos to help you with that. If you want the research questions, I not only have a cheat sheet, but I have a breakdown on why these questions are so important. I will leave that in a link in the description below. I love you guys, and blessings, blessings. Thanks for supporting me and watching this. Please subscribe, comment below, like this, share this, save this, and we'll see you in the next video.